Welcome to another edition of Brett's Mancave, guys. My name is Brett, aka Chocolate Thunder, the one, the only, the man, myth, and the legend. And guys, I gotta say, honestly, on some real shit, I don't know what the hell my announcer talks about half the time because he just goes off on these beautiful rants. But you know what? I love it. I hope you guys love it too. So let's get started on another brand spanking edition of Brett's Man Cave. If you guys want to follow me on any social media platform, start with IG. Hit me up on Brett's_Man Cave or all my links as well. Slash Brett's Man Cave as well. If you guys want to hit me up on that too, you can follow all my other links that I have on there and definitely be a follower. Follow, please subscribe, share. If you guys like what I have to say, hey, share it to the world. Don't be selfish. Oh, guys, we got another week of beautifulness going down here. Let's start off with all the magic thing happening. Yesterday was a leap year, February 29th. And it only happens every 4 years. So, I mean, hell, I know that happens every 4 years, but I'm trying to be here every week, right? So, yeah. So we're going with that. Black History Month just ended as well. And, I like how it's something that, again, leap year has to happen for the days to change and to not mess up society as it is, because apparently if leap year didn't happen every 600 years, you got Christmas in the summertime. So I don't think that's something we want. So they gave it to February, which is Black History Month, which is also the shortest month of the year. Because if you want to give Black History, give it to the black people and let's make it as short as possible so we don't have to hear them complaining and bitching. But you know what? Then I feel like every leap year, hey, let's give them something else so they can't complain about. We gave you 29 days. Come on, that's out of the league, right? That's just what's happening with that. So other things that are happening with leap year. Again, people decided to get married during the leap year. I know a lot of weddings were happening, but it kind of makes you wonder that if you have, especially if you ask somebody out on a leap year or if you get married on a leap year, does that because you gotta think about it. Every year isn't your anniversary because it never happened, right? February 29th never happened. So if you have your anniversary this year and it falls on February 29th, and you have to wait 4 years to really truly celebrate it. Now, is it genius or stupid? Now, that's why I say this. Because if it's genius, if you decided to marry your partner, ask them out on that day, think about it. Especially for a guy's perspective, okay? Think about it. Put your thinking caps on, and we're going to think. Dedication out to Blues Clues. That you ask this person out, or you marry this person, you don't have a real anniversary, and you tell your wife, hey, I didn't forget this year. It just didn't happen. So therefore we can't celebrate it for a day that's not there and it can't happen, right? So now we're saving money, right? We're saving money on this. But when it comes to that fourth year, you gotta kind of splurge a little bit. You know what I mean? So women, I ask you this question. Would you rather have an anniversary every 4 years or every year? Because guess what? It makes it more special. And it's very rare, especially on those days when it's just February 29th. But now it's also kind of funny because people who were born on February 29th aren't their real age. Especially if you look at something like the Avengers, especially when they have the blip, when people disappear, technically they didn't exist. So when they came back, they were actually younger than what they were when they left 4 years ago, because the world changed, but they didn't, because they just weren't in existence. So people who, especially if I was a bouncer and somebody tried to come up with an ID that said February 29th, I was like, you're a bullshit ass liar. This is a fake ID. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Because you got to think about it. They technically don't have birth dates. So their years are half of what they are, meaning that they're half their age. For example, let's look at pop culture. Hey, let's start it off with Ja Rule. Monica! The funniest thing I've ever seen in a movie. Monica! But Ja Rule, have you ever seen Fast and Furious? There's this most hilarious part where Ja Rule is about to race Vin Diesel, and this hot chick comes up to him, right? And it's like a four-way race. It's like four guys about to race, and this one girl comes with Ja Rule. She's like, "Hey, what's up, gorgeous?" Like, "Hey, what's up, Monica?" And she's like, "When you lose, you can have me, but if you win, you get her too." Right, and it's just like other hot chicks. So basically, she's technically a threesome. So he's gonna get money if he wins, and then gets this threesome with these two chicks, right? Then later on, like he's racing. He thinks he's winning. He's like, "I'm gonna get this, Monica." He keeps it, "Monica," and then eventually, like, Vin Diesel hypes in the like hyperdrive and goes in, kicks his ass, and speeds past him. So literally, as he speeds past him. Ja Rule's just like, "Monica," like just knowing that his time is just not going to happen, right? But then later on, he comes over to find out. He's like, "Hey, Monica." She's like, "What you want, nigga? You didn't win." And then all his friends is just, "Oh." So he didn't get the threesome. He didn't get the one some. He didn't get no money and got dissed, which was the fucking hilarious part, which is sad as shit. Anyway, back to Mr. Ja Rule. Ja Rule was born on a leap year, and February 29th to be exact. So that means he's 48 in real life, but in reality, if you count the leap years, he's only 24. I don't know. Does it make him young? Does it make him old? I mean, he could say he's young. Would it mean he's young? But I mean, age is just a number, right? So who knows how to, you want to collaborate that and figure that out. It's just kind of a weird thing. Speaking of Ja Rule, I actually found out that it's pretty funny. He was actually banned from performing in the UK, which is something weird. Ja, what's going on, Ja? What you do? But apparently, this is a case, this is a scenario, that Ja Rule was banned from the UK. He was banned from performing in the UK. But basically, the UK is one of the few European countries that restricts entry to people with criminal records, basically. So Ja Rule had a criminal record, whatever he did. No clue. If you want to look it up, you can check it out. Wikipedia, I'm sure. Google. Um, but basically, maybe it's just a crime against music. Who knows? But basically, he cannot enter in the UK, and he can't perform in the UK, which apparently he spent a lot of his own personal money on. And I'm pretty sure to the point that he actually got a venue and he got tickets sold and all that stuff. But I'm sure the UK probably just did not realize that he had a criminal record. So when he tries to come with his passport, then they don't let him in because he has that record on him, which is totally crazy. But at the same time, it's like, who still knows about Ja Rule? Especially, I mean, I feel if you have to perform in the UK, not a lot of people in America remember, like, "Hey, you know what I gotta see, bruh? I gotta see a Ja Rule concert. Just a Ja Rule ass concert. Just," and like, it's just funny. It's like, when's the time you ever see Ja Rule? Especially when it's like only time when it's like New Year's Eve, the ball dropping. But they always hire like these old ass like singers or something like that, which I have no problem with. But it's just funny that they always choose somebody that nobody knows who they are, especially with Super Bowl. They always choose people they do not know who. You try to please the crowd, obviously, but you always like get these people who are like 90s singers or something like that, and like nobody knows who these people are. Remember that one year where Justin Timberlake performed, and they're like, he went into the stand, and even this little white kid was in the stand, did not know who Justin Timberlake was for the life of him at all. So it was just totally funny to watch this kid like, yeah, this guy's cool, right? You see, but I mean, but regardless, and even when they got Missy Elliott to perform, nobody knows who Missy Elliott was unless you grew up with Missy Elliott, and she put on a great performance at the Super Bowl. But it was funny because people didn't know who the fuck Missy Elliott was. They're like, "Oh, who's this new rap artist lady who just knows how to sing and rap and do these things?" But they're like, "This is crazy. She's really good," and everyone started looking her up. But it's like, Missy Elliott's been around for forever, yo. Like, maybe it's just you guys stop listening to this like mumble rap shit and actually expand on music. Like, who was a little punk ass kid who was a mumble rapper? I don't know if it's little Red or Lil Pump or whatever the fuck, and they ask him about like real rappers, you know what I mean, like Eminem or Tupac or something like that. They're like, I don't know who that is, but I feel like you can't get into a genre, especially between like, it's hip hop and rap, and you don't know who came before you. You know what I mean? Like everybody who was a rap artist before, you got Dr. Dre, and he produced music. You got Little John, who produced music, and a lot of these other rappers who were like producers, and like you got DJ Khaled, you got what I mean. But it's crazy because they still grew up knowing who people were, not even just in their own music, but in their own like different genres. You know what I mean? Like I love when I make like collaborations and when I hear different songs that I think, oh my god, I didn't even know they did that before. Like this song from NWA, "Express Yourself." You know, I'm expressing with my full capabilities, and right now I'm living in correctional facilities. That's what we hear, right? That's the music. That's the music we hear. Now we hear this, the old school version of it, and that's what people don't realize. It's just a chill, mellow. Express. See, that's the original version concept. Now, obviously, rap has done this over time and time again, where we play songs that are from different genres. Except we start with rap, we go old school. And a lot of people do that as well, and especially songs that people know of, like this one. I wear my sunglasses at night, so I can watch you weave and breathe your storyline. Okay, right. You feel me on this, right? I wear my sunglasses at night, so I can keep track of the visions in my eyes. But then we throw it to a kickback like this. Hit me with it one time. I know it sounds the same, but I promise you, not the same. First of all, you hear that. Got a little bass to it. Got a little beat to it. Tell them what it is. Give it to me. I usually do this one. Stunning shades on. Put your stunning shades on. But see, this is what I'm talking about. The kids of today's youth don't know about these transitions like this. They don't know that old songs were made with new things, especially from. And it really annoys me when I hear this part when they're like, "Oh yeah, that's white people music." Oh, that's white people. Nah, son, black people use it all the time, bro. But that's not to say black people still music, because especially when Black History Month came around, you gotta remember, black people created rock. Okay, like you got to know that black people created rock, and I feel bad for the youth, and they don't teach that enough in schools, that where they think, oh yeah, this is just white people music, you don't know, it's white people music. And it's like, no, it's not. It's black people music. It's just that we didn't get a lot of music played out there, especially when you think about rock and roll for the first time ever created. Who's the thing you think about? Watch Back to the Future. Learn your history lesson. You gotta learn, kiddos, that rock was created by black folks. Tell them what it is, Johnny. Especially with Chuck Berry in there. This is a black person singing it. And we did pretty good at making rock music. Johnny be good. Couldn't read or write so well, but he could play guitar. It was like ringing the bells. Go, go. Go, Johnny, go, go. Go, Johnny, go, go. Okay, gotta throw my got sucked in there for a second. Sorry about that, guys. But again, it's always good to fundamentally know and teach kids about music nowadays, because I'm telling you that they don't know. They just don't know. Like, I hate to sound like an old person, Especially when we do like, oh, you young kids don't know. You guys don't know about this stuff nowadays. And when you look at Eminem and Dr. Dre, you think that was cool collaboration with the white and the black guy. No, we had white and black people singing all the time. Especially if you look at old school rock music. You look at people like Run DMC, and they collaborated with a white group called Aerosmith, and they created the first collaboration of interracial music. It was beautiful. I'm sure other people did that too as well. Especially if you look at Elvis, and Elvis collaborated with a lot of cats like BB King and Lover Cover. They did a bit with a titty in the middle. See, we even take rock and put it in rap. That's how cool it is. And I love when they do shit like that because it just sounds so crazy. Because it's a beautiful harmonization, like bringing people together like that. It just sounds really good. Yeah, say, hey, get it with a kitty in the middle. Now my thing is, I love this one. I love this one. You got Limp Bizkit here. I know, oh God, if you were born in 87 with me, you guys grew up with me. You know exactly where this is. But you got collaborators like Run DMC, Method Man, heavy hitters in the game at this time, okay? Rocking with Limp Bizkit. And they made some sick ass shit. Back up. Rolling. And I'm telling you, when you put rock and rap together, the beats and the shit that comes out just sounds so much harder. Like, so much harder. Let me get to I gotta find that one part where I'm like, I gotta find that like, oh shit. Check my dangerous slang, atrocious. When I let these nuts hang, Wu-Tang. See, black people know what's up. They even throw other regular rappers in there. All right. Enough of this music hour. I'm not a radio station. I'm a podcast. What the hell's going on with me? Sorry about that, guys. I got in my feels a little bit on that one. I had to rock and roll and jam a little bit. Woo! So like I told you guys, I was going to start giving you guys some dates. As today is March 1st, it's an Employee Appreciation Day, which happens to fall on a Friday, which I feel like that all that means is your boss is bringing in pizza. He's not giving nobody no raises. Don't expect no raises. It's just you're just getting the pizza. You luckily if you're not even Hawaiian pizza either. It's either pepperoni or cheese. That's all y'all get, and he didn't even go hard on it. Homie went to he went to Little Caesars Pizza and got you guys some pizza. Not even Papa John pizza. He had a coupon for Little Caesars, so that $5 pizza came out to like $3 pizza. Oh my God! I remember the time I was working in Six Flags, and it was so funny because they were like trying to like say how cool they were, and they broke these records, and things were happening. Hey guys, yeah, we're breaking records, and this is happening, that's happening. Oh my God, it's gonna be so great. We're making so much money at Six Flags. And then you hear in the very far distance, somebody says, "Does that mean we get a raise?" And homegirl on stage didn't know what the fuck to do. She's looking around like, I'll have to get back to you on that. That means no. And it was just funny because everyone's like, when this guy stood up and said that question, we're like, yeah, that's great. Wonderful. What does that mean for a raise? And then they're like, we have to get back to you on that. That means no. And everyone's like, we hated that lady. We're like, get her off the stage. They just used her as a patsy. They should have known someone was going to ask that, especially because we see all the CEOs and all the big time figures driving in corporate cars, driving their Ford Focuses. Like everyone had a Ford Focus. Like every boss had a Ford Focus that they got from the company. And they were talking, we got these new buses, but they could not give us a raise. But nowadays, look at the minimum wage now. Look how well it's going on. But it doesn't mean shit because in California, the minimum wage goes up, but it means prices will also go up. So, which makes California like the most hated and low state of the United States because yeah, we have a lot of money. Like if I took the money that I made, I think anywhere else, and especially if I did a remote job and it paid me a lot of money, and I worked anywhere else in any other state, let's just say Alabama or Arkansas, or let's just say for kicks and giggles, Oregon, right? I'd be making so much more money than them. I'd look like a rich person. I could buy a house, and half the houses out there are just like $5,000, but you get an acre and a mule out there. But over there, you gotta look at what they make. It's like, oh yeah, they're like, you can get a house and affordable. But look at how much you guys like make an hour. You guys make like your money you're making is like, I didn't even think it was still possible that some places were still making like $7, $8, $9 an hour. And I was like, wow, we are so privileged here. So give it up for California because we know what we do. But that's why a lot of people get the money from California and they move out of state to make it last twice as longer. So that's what's happening. Moving on with the days, as I said, March 1st is National Employee Appreciation Day. And then let's see going on here. March 2nd is going to be Old Stuff Day. I don't even know what the fuck that means. Whoever just creates these days, like, hey, let's make it a national holiday and let's see what we can get for it. And it's just dumbass things that they try to push out. Let's see, March 3rd is National Soup Day. Let's get some soup, they said. And National Anthem Day. Oh, guys, this is my pet peeve. If you don't know the national anthem at this point in your life, get to it because you never know when you might need it or might have to sing it. Just like this guy Carl Lewis back in the days. If you ever watched the Michael Jordan game, and this guy Carl Lewis came out and he was singing the national anthem, and it did not go well at all. And I got actually a clip of it. So here's a clip of this guy singing a horrible job at the national anthem. Michael Jordan was there and he could not hold himself, and it was. Let me just get to it and just play the damn song. Here we go.
Oh, say, can you see?
Starts off strong.
And the rockets. Red flag.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, made a right turn there. It's bad when he heard it and he had to go, uh-oh, hold on. Let's play it one more time.
Oh, say, can you see? And the rockets. Red flag.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. I should just do that from now on when I mess up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. One more time. I'm sorry.
Oh, say, can you see?
Uh-oh.
And the rockets.
Yes. Red flag. He just hit puberty.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh, God, that's awful. Give it up for National Anthem Day. All right, here we go.
Oh,
National Anthem Day. They just called National This Guy Day.
And the rockets.
Red flag.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh, God, I love it. All right, so after that, we have March 4th, which is National Sun Day, as in sun, S-O-N. So if you have a son, it's your son's day. That's like me. I'm a National Sun's Day, so give it up for a day for me. All right, yeah. Thank you very much. All right, then we got March 5th, National Absinthe Day. Oh, well, we're getting fucked up that day. If you ever have absinthe, I haven't, but let's go for it. Why not? It's that National Day somewhere. I thought it was that's National Germany Day or something. March 6th is National Dress Day, so have a dress out for March 6th. March 7th is Flapjack Day, which I'm not sure if that's the same as Pancake Day, but I mean, maybe. Make sure you guys check IHOP. Maybe they might be giving out some free pancakes that day. So, with that said, let's go into some national news. Not even national news, let's say local news, if you will. Did you guys know that Wendy's was trying to do a surge inflation this week? And if you haven't heard that at all, but Wendy's, I don't know who the fuck Wendy's think they were. And honestly, people vouch for Wendy's, which is the horrific part about this whole situation. We vouched for Wendy's. We said, Wendy's, you guys are underrated, but a highly rated restaurant, a fast food restaurant, especially. And I think they're in the top chain of I think healthiest burger places under. I know like In-N-Out Burger was up there on the top ones, but I think Wendy's had actually hit a market where they were like, hey, they're actually a really good restaurant to eat at, especially because they give you quality food and not like fattening where it's as not as bad. You know what I mean? Like you go to McDonald's and I realize that what makes McDonald's, especially their French fries, so good is they have a secret ingredient that I won't tell everybody. This has become an SMR program or an MR program where they said, hey, guess what? We put sugar in the salt at the McDonald's fries. And if we all know anything about sugar, sugar is addicting as fuck. And guess what? When you smell McDonald's and you smell those delicious fries, guess what? You want some, don't you? And that's why everybody thinks, damn, McDonald's fries are so bomb because they have a little bit of sugar in there. But I didn't tell you that. So anyway, I digress from the story. Wendy's was actually pretty healthy, especially because they use sea salt for a lot of stuff, made a lot of their meats not frozen, and they didn't use a lot of bad ingredients in what they made, right? So I mean, decently kind of fresh, and they had delicious frosties, which again, their ice cream machines are never broken. McDonald's machine ice cream machines are always broken. Everybody wants them. You would think they would get better machines because people all want delicious ice cream, but guess what? They don't. So, anyways, we all go to Wendy's because we can get a goddamn good frosty and it's never broken. McDonald's, just saying. Yes, yes, McDonald's, we are talking to you. But anyways, Wendy's, and especially because Wendy's gave you a pretty decent meal. I mean, think about it. You go to Wendy's, you get the 555 deal, right? You get a soda, you get a burger or a chicken sandwich if you're choosing. You get French fries, and you get some nuggets, right? One, two nuggets, burger, fries, soft drink. I don't think I'm missing something in here. I'm sure there's more, but well, maybe it was a 4 for 5, 4 or 5 for 5. Anyways, you got a pretty decent hearty meal for like a cheap $4 or $5. Well, the time I think it was $4, then they moved to $5, but you got a pretty decent cheap ass meal that was pretty filling, right? And then so everyone's like, "Yo, Wendy's is underrated," and they stay open longer than some most McDonald's, and and they go for it. But then, for whatever the fuck reason, Wendy's thought they were Uber, and they were saying we're gonna surge prices based off the needs and the demands of the restaurant. What the fuck are the needs and the demands of the restaurant? My thing is, and this could be, and I'm looking at this from different aspects as well, and nothing on the Wendy's side either, but the aspect of needs and demands. Okay, you order the food, so you should have the abundance amount of food. Like regardless, you have the same shipment with the same food at the same time every week, every month, every day, right? Just like McDonald's orders their food every day, every week, and everything. When they're out of something, they just say, "Hey, we're out of it." You know what I mean? But they don't charge us more for this. So, at what point do you think you have a surge or an influx of? You think you could influx the price based off of, "Hey, we don't have enough patties for the week" or something like that? So like, no, 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 Wendy's, stop fucking up, okay? And then it's also based off of like this is mainly the reason they did it was based off of like let's say you go in I don't know 9, 10 in the afternoon evening, right? 10 p.m. Nobody's in line, right? They don't need to rush things or order things, so the price of a let's say baconator like $4, right? So for whatever reason, let's say lunchtime happens and everybody and their mama is in line for Wendy's, trying to get some Wendy's, and they call this the surge influx part where they're like, "Whoa, we have a lot of people who are coming in to get our burgers, so we have to raise the prices to like $10 now." Which doesn't make sense because everybody can be coming in there, but not everybody can be ordering the same goddamn thing. You know what I mean? Not everybody wants a baconator. Some people want, the Wendy's Junior burger or the junior cheeseburger, whatever the fuck they got. And it's like there's no need for you guys to do this at all. At all. But they wanted to do this. But the day before, which was February 28th, they were going to do it. They announced they were going to do it. And then February 29th happened and they backed off because I'm pretty sure they got a lot of fucking backlash and tongue lashing at them. Yeah, so something like that, right? So they said we fucked up. We're not gonna do this, and so I'm pretty sure they almost got boycotted. Honestly, like because you don't know when they're going to inflate these prices. You don't know how long for the hours they're going to inflate the price. And the thing is, it hurts you guys because if we know what time of day you guys are going to influx these prices, then we're not going to show up. We are not going to show up, and which is rude as hell because I've gone to different restaurants and chains restaurants and stuff like that, and it's like I don't say shit when I show up at like 2 a.m. or something like that, and you guys talking about, oh, we only take cards or we only do cash, or one time I heard this awful excuse at Jack in the Box where they're like, we don't have a chef. Um, how the fuck do you not have a chef? And I assume there's always a manager on every shift. So I assume the manager, before he became manager, had to learn how to cook something. Now I'm not saying this is Benihana and like, hey guys, we don't have a chef, so we can't cook you Benihana kind of style. I get it totally. You're a manager, you don't know, you hire chefs for that reason. But if you're working at a fast food restaurant, I hope you assume to know how to make the fast food, which isn't really that hard because we've all seen the managers cooking the tacos or throw the tacos in the deep fryer. And to say, hey, this is on this kind of heat for this long of time period, like the managers should know that because they have to teach that to the new employees and the chefs. So I don't see what the problem is and how they don't have a chef on duty. I think it's just half the time they are just sneaking and hiding in there so they don't have to cook anything for anybody trying to pull up to the windows, which is like ridiculous. um but yeah, like so. Anyway, going back to Wendy's, and again, like I said, underrated place. They make funny ass commercials all the time. You know what I mean? Like especially that guy's like, bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when we bring your food? Like it's almost most. I can't even do it because it's so widely off rhythm that my rhythm is like, what are you doing, bro? Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, please stop doing that. Um, I even hate listening to the commercial when it comes along because that kid's so off rhythm and white and just doing it. So it's just a funny thing. But again, Wendy's, he didn't need to do that. But basically, it was funny because it turned into a giant fu from other fast food chains where basically they're like, hey, if Wendy's going to charge you surgeflation, then we'll have discounts on our food, or we'll give you an extra burger for a nickel, or we'll give you, these things for like half the price that Wendy's wouldn't give you. You know what I mean? So now you have fast food places competing for our love, as it should be. We shouldn't have to want to go to fast food places, but we should be like, ooh, fast food place, why don't you love me? Do you not want me to eat your food? I want to eat your food, fast food place. Give me your burgers and throw a free fry. And by the way, if you guys don't have the app for McDonald's, now I try not to go to McDonald's when I don't have to. Honestly, I really don't. You'll see on this podcast today that it's about a lot of hacks, if you will, and a lot of helping you in times of need. So one of the things that definitely I would say, get mobile apps for a lot of the places, especially McDonald's. And then keep tuned to sports channels because honestly, they always have some kind of hack or some kind of like thing where they're like, hey, if the Dodgers hit a home run or they somebody slides in the third inning, you get like 6 nuggets for free or a free French fry. And apparently there are a lot of discounts on the McDonald's app where Friday they give you free fries, or you can get free fries of any size, or $1.29 of use. And I like how they always do that too, when they're like, hey, you can get $1.29 on any fry, any size. Why would you even make the small size an option? I'm not gonna give you $1.29 for the smallest thing possible. I'm getting the largest fry, even if I don't want the largest fry. That's my choice to do with the rest of those fries. So I'm gonna always get the largest fry. But why give us that choice when you know it's like we're gonna go ham because this is the discount and we are going to rape the shit out of that discount. So anyways, like I said, choose McDonald's app. It's always awesome, especially on sports days when things happen. You get different discounts, um, and it's just a thing that makes you a winner, a giant ass fucking winner. Yeah. So that's what I gotta say about the fast food restaurant. Like I said, I don't try to go to fast food restaurants a lot, especially if you're trying to like lose weight, cut out calories, and things like that. Like, especially stay away from fast foods, and they charge you too much anyway. Especially where like you're and inflation's not helping anything either. So basically, family of four, getting like burgers and look for all the discounts and promos they got. Get those. You honestly don't think get need you don't honestly don't need to get what you think you don't need. Honestly, like, do you need 20 nuggets? In my lifetime, I figured I do not need 20 nuggets anymore. Especially when people try to give you like, hey, this is what's in nuggets and this is what's in fries. And it's like I don't need all that shit. But if I do gotta get it, I'm gonna get the most best discounted value ever because you can get and this is the hack of the week where you guys can go to McDonald's and you can get either and you can mix and match it. You can get either a chicken sandwich, spicy chicken sandwich, a McDouble, or a four-piece nugget, and you mix and match those two, and it only comes out to like $4. Okay, so that's the hack of the week, where basically you can get a burger, you can get some nuggets, you can get that, and throw that on your mobile app and get the $1.29 French fry, and you have like a whole combo set for like $6, maybe less, but I mean it's way cheaper than getting like an order they have there for like $9-10 where it's the same thing, and then you become overly full and a lot of calories are in there, and then that's how you get fat and obese, and that's how you're like, oh, I hate fast food places. But again, or you know what, just fuck the nuggets, invest in a Costco card, go to Costco. This is another hack of the week. Go to Costco. Abraham, I know my buddy is always listening. Abraham, shout out to you. Mr. Mendez. Me and him always see each other at Costco anyways because we always hook up those shit. We go to Costco. They have chicken chunks in the aisle, and honestly, the chicken chunks are like $13 for a big ass bag of like almost like chicken balls, chicken nuggets. I don't know what the fuck, but they're very meaty. It's like 22, 23 grams of protein for like 1 gram of sugar because it's very lightly breaded. And they put them in the air fryer. You can heat them up, microwave, oven, whatever it is, but you got a bang for your buck because this is like the extra meatiest, juiciest chicken you'll ever have, and it literally saves you so much money, time, and you get more full because these pieces are big ass fucking chunks and they're delicious. So give it a shot. I'm telling you guys right now, you'll thank me later. Whew, wow, talking about all that food, I'm getting hungry after this podcast. I'm gonna go eat something. My God. All right. Moving on to other news. Let's get on to a celebration. Guys, it is officially happened. I have hit 10,000 followers on Instagram. Oh my God, I'm so happy this week. 10K. 10,000 followers on Instagram. Do you know how crazy that is? So if you're not following me on Instagram, please follow me on Instagram. Don't be that person who's left out of the equation. Brett's underscore Mancave is so great right now, guys. Literally, I have followers. I press out content as much as I can, just like on here in the podcast. But I literally put every platform to everything I do, so everybody is always following and being entertained. If I can't entertain you on the podcast, goddamn it, I guarantee you I'm going to entertain you on my IG. If I can't entertain you on my IG, I'm going to entertain you on my TikTok. If I can't entertain you on my TikTok, I'm going to entertain you on my Facebook. If I can't entertain you on any of those things, maybe you just need a personality. I don't know what to say about that, but I'm trying to entertain as much as possible, and this was a way. Like this is it was honestly a blessing, and I know. I'm cheering for it, and I was just so happy because shit's gonna get harder now. So the bar is now moved up. Now the level has moved up now, and honestly, 10,000s. I guess that influencer style. It's that influencer status that you have now. So what can you do with it? So now I have to put in the work and I have to show people that I am worth these 10,000 followers, and I have to make sure everyone is still entertained by these followers. Um, and I have to be the influencer or social media content creator that I am, and I have to keep pressing out things because this is what I want. This is like the hustle that you get, especially when people get mad about when they see like these kids who became influencers by doing dumbass things on TikTok. But there's some people who actually work really hard for these kind of things to like say, hey, you know what? I'm an influencer, I'm a creator, and I want to like either teach you something or learn something. And that's basically, again, that's what this podcast is going to be based off of. I want to teach you guys things to help increase your life and make you better at what you do with money, family, your future financial investments. And that's why I'm here. That's what I need to do for you guys. Like, that's what I want to give to you. So honestly, coming up the next segment, it'll be basically a life lesson, a little bit of um a lesson that, and it's funny because they were I got asked by a survey guy in the parking lot. You know how they make you sign, hey, can you sign up for our petition that we have? And I felt bad I didn't sign it. And honestly, if they ask me again, I'm probably gonna sign it because I wish somebody taught me this stuff. And then they were saying that in this petition, they're trying to push finance classes for kids in high school, which I think they should. I wish I was taught finances in high school, and maybe my life would have came out way different, much better. I don't know. It could have done something for me differently. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like my life may have been in another direction, or your life could be in another direction. But I would especially want my kids to learn financial responsibilities, and not even just that, but also like the idea is like, hey, this is how I save money. This is how I get equity. This is how I push things. This is how I get side hustles. This is how I can be better in life. You know what I mean? And it starts with the kids. And speaking of kids, the goddamn Girl Scouts of America at the same shopping center where I get my groceries from, which this guy had the petition for. I hate, I feel bad. Like, I can always tell the petitioner no. You know what I mean? No matter what they're trying to push on me. But it sucks when the Girl Scouts of America always are at the grocery stores. And don't tell me I'm the only one who does this, because especially when I see them like blocking a door, I always look for the other door into the grocery store or the Walmart. I'm like, how can I avoid these girls, not break their hearts, and not feel guilty because I didn't want to buy shit for them? Because saying no is just way too awful. Um, but basically, I don't want to hear these kids crying and they're just booing me as I walk away. Because I don't know what they have badges for anymore. They could have a merit badge and sharpshooting, and they could just take me out if they had to. So, that's the case on that one. So I feel bad. And it sucks because this particular grocery store, this Stater Brothers, they had two exits. Now they narrowed it down to one exit and entrance, which I'm like, why the fuck did you guys do that? I guess they must want to stop shoplifters or whatever. I get it. That's one thing. Fucking shoplifters. You gotta fuck up everything for the so basically they have one door in, one door out. The other door is blocked and blacked out. So I was like, you only have one door to walk through, which really sucks ass. So and it sucks when I see them. I was like, fuck, the Girl Scouts are there. I do not want to buy anything. I don't want Thin Mints. I don't want the fucking Samoans. I don't want the whatever the fuck they give you, right? And so I'm like, how do I avoid these girls? And I just thought, and it sucks. I don't know what's worse, when they have the really really tiny little tiny cute girls out there. The one little girl who's like missing her two front teeth, and she's like just before teenage, but just under, just over, like, not toddler, but just young enough. Where, hi, Mister. Can you buy Girl Scout cookies from us and help us get to space camp or whatever the hell they're trying to go for? And you're like, I don't want to say no to her. Like, she's too cute and precious. That's what they do. I think this is a scam and a plot, right? And then it made it worse because I was like, okay, I'll check in with you guys later. I'll see what I have. And then then they gave me this is the worst and the worst part. They gave me a little fat girl who was in a wheelchair, and I'm not sure if she had diabetes or not, but it was just like, oh fuck, not the little fat girl in the wheelchair. Just, oh my god, my heart was breaking. I was like, no. It's like, hey, sir, can you give us Girl Scout? I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. And I was like, how much? And you know what? Fuck them. They're little hustlers. Like, it's funny because when I was walking to the store, literally I heard them like talking about like, oh, hi, sorry, I don't have cash on me. It's okay. We got Venmo. We got Zelle. We got Cash App. We got a card reader. Like, they had everything on hand and ready. Like, they are upping their antes. They're not letting you walk away with that same bullshit excuse like you don't have money. It's okay. We don't take money. We take cards. It's easier for us. We don't have to worry about the cash getting stolen from us. So I was like, you guys are evil. So I was like, damn. And like, I was like, I'm not going to get away with the fat girl or the little tiny girl missing teeth. So I was like, let me just get my Scout cookie money out. And so I was like, here's $8. If I had to pick one, and I got the Tungalungs, I think they're called. I think it's like a chocolate with peanuts in it, and or like a cookie crisp kind of thing, like a cookie crumble kind of chocolate covered kind of thing, right? They weren't too bad. I was just mad ate them, and I was like, oh god, this totally sucks. And it's like, damn it. And then my friend Raul out there, if you're listening to this, fuck you. My postman Raul, he's my best friend. But he's like, hey, yeah, I got the thin mints with the mint. I was like, Raul, you should always know. Fuck that shit, bro. No chocolate goes in my mint. No mint goes in my chocolate. No mint goes in my ice cream. No mint goes in anything that I find delectable as a sweet treat should go into my mint. Shouldn't just belong in there, bro. Like, that's like the Shamrock Shake around McDonald's right now. Like, no, get that shit away from me. I don't want mint in my goddamn ice cream. So with that said, I got the goddamn cookies. And then it makes it worse. One day I was so relieved. I came back to that same store and I actually saw them packing up. I was like, they're packing up, they're going away. Just give it a couple more minutes, they're gonna be gone. And I can walk into the store and I don't have to worry about it. And I see them walking through the parking lot, and they're walking out there. They got the box of stuff. And I was like, yeah, let's go. I get out the car, right? Get my stuff. Let's go get my headphones on. I'm all right. We're gonna go to the store and get something and leave real quick. And then of course, as soon as I look up, they weren't leaving. They were trading out positions. So their other part of their troop came in and took their spot. And I was like, God damn it. And I was like, I'm just not winning. And I was like, ugh. But this is my thing. And if this is one of the things that hurts you when Girl Scouts come to you guys, this is a way to learn that just by telling them, hey, get the box of cookies, support them, their foundings, whatever, right? Get the box of cookies, get one box. Don't gotta go crazy with it. Just get the one box, $6. But then from then on, you don't feel guilty because you could say, oh, I bought a box from the other girls, thank you though. And they're like, oh, thank you for your support. So therefore you're not lying to them. I did buy a box before, and I don't have to buy another box, and I don't feel as guilty. Like, I just don't. And it feels so nice. Because, yes, that's my victory walk away. That's how I feel when I walk away from a Girl Scout, not lying to her, knowing that I bought box of cookies. And that, my friends, is what makes me happy. And and that is Brett's hack of the week. All right. Well, before our final 10 minutes, like I said, usually before, if you give me 59 minutes, I will give you the world. And as an influencer, it is my job to teach you guys and support you guys and to make better choices in life and better financial decisions. In this segment called We Gonna Save That Money. Damn right, we gonna save that money. Where, you know what? I think it was so upset for me that all my life I didn't grow up with good financial decisions. But I'm gonna help you guys make better financial decisions in your life. You know, you get to a point in your life, you're like, damn, if somebody would have taught me that earlier, I would have been good. So I'm here and I've done the research. So I'm going to tell you guys how to save that money. Because we gonna save that money. You know what I mean? And I've done the research, I've done the calculations. Now, I get it. I'm not a financial investor. I'm not a financial stabilizer. So please don't try to sue me for anything because Brett said do this. I'm giving you the best options for you to save your money, make your money work for you and not you work for your money. Because at some point, this is your investment. This is your life. This is your legacy. This is what you'll pass down to your kids at some point. So you need to figure out what the best thing for you to do is, because everybody is different. And I get that. But this is the best opportunity for you to start saving money in a better way for you, your family, your future, and your financial investments. If you don't believe me, try it. I've done it. I've tried it. It's been working for me. And like I said, you're not gonna be a millionaire overnight. You're not. It's just not gonna happen. But I can probably help you get to that point in further in life investments so you can be a millionaire at some point, or your children could be millionaires. Who the fuck knows? Teaching them, especially at a certain age, and this is like what I was talking about earlier, is that like there's a guy that he's teaching. They were trying to make uh, not a protest, but they're petitioning to have financial things taught in classes. And if I was a teacher, this is the kind of thing I would teach them in class. So therefore, this is what I'm going to teach you guys. So, ready for a chance to save that money? All right, so you gotta hear this song. If you ever heard this song by Save That Money by Lil Dicky, the rap game do got it all wrong. Especially if you think about all these guys who go and get big and famous and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like they go on MTV Cribs and they buy all this dumbass shit like 50 Rolls Royces and necklaces and diamonds and money and the shit. And then you look at that. Then you look at the documentary of rap artists who, like MC Hammer, for example, made millions. You know what I mean? But then what did he do? He threw all that shit away, bought too much jewelry, didn't invest in anything, and just fucked his shit up. And the realest shit I ever heard in my life, and it's regulating with me now, is if you ever watch that movie Baby Boy, you got Melvin. Melvin was the baby boy's mom's boyfriend, right? And he just got a penitentiary. But he always has some words and some shit that this shit resonates with me, and it's called the guns and Butta.
But when you're making paper, you gotta learn some rules to go with it.
You do.
You gotta learn the difference between guns and butter. There are two type of niggas in this world. There are niggas with guns and niggas with butter. Now what are the guns? The guns, that's the real estate. The stocks and bonds. Artwork, shit that appreciates with value. What's the butter? Cars, clothes, jewelry, all that other bullshit that don't mean shit after you buy it. That's what it's all about. Guns and butter, baby.
That's really what it's all about, baby. The guns and butter. So again, when I talk to you guys about these kind of things, I'm talking about the guns. Let's talk about some guns. Now again, I can't tell you what kind of guns to buy, but I can tell you what guns that could help you. So let's talk about the guns. Let's talk about what Melvin said. He's the stocks. Okay, first thing I did, invest in stocks. Fuck the crypto. Fuck the crypto. Literally, fuck the crypto. Look, I tried crypto. I tried it. I didn't like it because the fact that I'm giving you money and the money that comes out less than what I gave you, I'm not making a profit. What's the point? Especially, it's like the fact that if you go to Disneyland and they at one point in life, and this is a fact of history, because back in the day, Disneyland wanted to up their shit and give you Disney bucks or Disney dollars, if you will. And Disney dollars were some monopoly money, if you will. Let's just say it's monopoly because that's what it was. It was monopoly money. And basically, you go there and you're like, hey, I'm going to give you 50 regular dollars. And you're going to give me 50 Disney Monopoly dollars. And Monopoly dollars are basically nothing you could spend outside the park. You could spend anything inside the park. So basically, if you gave your kids this money, they couldn't fuck around and throw it off on some dumbass shit. But if they're in the park, obviously they could spend dumbass shit. So you have the Monopoly dollars, you have the Disney dollars, and the Disney dollars are only good for Disney stores. So you spend that, right? Now, if you take that money into the real world, it's not worth any kind of value. So, and what makes, that's even more basic than crypto, honestly, because the idea of crypto is that, like saying, like, hey, here's the $50 that I give you for this Monopoly money, and you tell me that $50 is worth $25 in whatever, Disney dollars, which is the fucked up part about that. So basically, you could be giving them more portion of a money and they give you less of it back or less of it to spend. Because remember, at one point, people were talking about you could use crypto at places and stuff and things like that. And it's like, well, I'm giving you money and you're saying it's worth less than what I'm giving you. So who's profiting from this? Because I'm obviously not. If you said my $5 is only worth $2.50, and that doesn't make any fucking sense to me. So in this reality, in this world, crypto has just gone downhill. People are like, well, it may come back. No, the fuck it's not. It's not coming back. I'm sorry. Like, it had its chance. It was cool for what it was, but it wasn't much to play with. So if you're thinking about doing crypto, just don't. It's too much of a gamble, too much of a risk. I'm sure when it first started off, it was just like it's like Pokemon Go, people started off thinking it's cool, this is kind of cool, this is all right cool, and then it just flopped and now it's just worth shit. So wouldn't recommend doing crypto. Now, what I would recommend is going into stocks, which was second part of Guns and Butter. Um, Going into stock, obviously, it's a risk. It's also a risk, but at this point in life, there are chances to take risk and not. Okay, now when I mean that, I don't recommend buying a whole stock of something. That's just wild. Especially if the stock were like 300 or something like that, right? Um, do your research, and I will say if you don't have apps like there's Acorn and then there's E-Trade and all that shit, and that's just like regular stocks. Now I do have that. Now I started with stocks back when COVID started, and I figured, well, getting a little bit of this money and getting a little bit of that unemployment, I can invest this to help me out in life and do better. Started off with that. So my game plan was, especially working with Disney, I figure if white people want it, it's worth something. You know what I mean? So I started off with Disney stock, and at the time Disney closed down, everything had closed down. So I figure, what would happen? What do I know is going to work in the long run? That's what you got to think. What's working now, and what is something that will work in the long run and people are going to want to do, have to do, need to do? The first thing I thought of, Disneyland. Disneyland, I don't know why Disneyland is a thing right now, but Disneyland had shut down. And I had looked at their stocks, and the only reason I thought of Disney at the time is because my former employer at one point said, "Hey, for like a white elephant gift, he was going to give me Disney stock." And he's like, "You have to buy the Disney stock, and then once you show me that you bought it, then whatever, I'll reimburse you for it." Um, I don't think I ever did that. So, but eventually, I did. I was looking into stocks and things like that, and I was like, okay, let me just look at stocks and look at things. And then I was looking at Disney stocks, and I was like, oh shit, Disney has like a stock, right? And then at some point, Disney stock went down when the pandemic hit because it's not making a profit, it's not making money, nobody's going there, so everything's at a standstill at this point. So nothing cost anything. No profits are happening. They're firing everybody. So stocks just going down, right? And I was like, wow, this is the perfect time to get Disney stock. Because eventually what's going to happen is people are going to want to fucking go to Disney again, especially white people. Rich white people love Disney. Everyone loves Disney. The first thing that happens when somebody wins a Super Bowl, NBA championship, Stanley Cup, whatever the fuck it is, hey, you just won the Stanley Cup. What are you going to do now? I'm going to Disneyland. So, so that's my first thing is Disney will never go away. It'll never fade away. It only gets bigger. It only gets better. And everybody always wants to go to Disneyland. So let me buy Disney stock. So I bought Disney stock. And to my surprise, it was only like $90, maybe less than that, $70. But I saw it definitely going down. It was like 120 at the time when I first saw it, and then I saw it go $90 and $70, and so it was there. I was like, damn, let me get this Disney stock. That's gonna be fucking crazy. I'll get Disney stock and it'll go up. So I got the Disney stock. And the pandemic ended, and it didn't go up, and I was like, crap. So I'm just sitting there awkwardly, like, what the fuck happened to my Disney stock? Now, it could have worked. I think it should have worked, but I think this is also what happened. Disney regulated the amount of people trying to come to Disneyland. Now, it's not that people didn't want to come to Disneyland. The first day they opened up the pandemic, people rushed to Disneyland. Disneyland was like its own pandemic. It was like everybody wanted to go there. Like blocks, like it was a line going down the block, around the corner, down another block, around that corner, just to get into Disneyland. Disney was overwhelmed at how many people they had, and it hit max capacity like instantly. So it wasn't that my idea wasn't working. But at that point, they said we have to regulate this. We have to think, hey, if you want to come to Disney, you have to reserve a ticket. But we don't want to make our park so full that it's just like nothing's enjoyable to ride. Because I learned from that the less rides you go on, the more of a chance people are unhappy. So if you only go on 3 rides that day, you're obviously pissed the fuck off because you spent all that money. So you have to reserve your spot in line at Disneyland, which that kind of fucked up my plans. So as they're reserving, people are buying tickets and they're reserving spots that day or whatever day they're trying to go. It wasn't working. So the profits weren't going crazy, and a lot of the thing I forgot to also think about this is that especially when they do the season passes and people come back all the fucking time, it's that basically they come back every day. So they're not going to be buying the merch. They're not going to be buying, they'll buy the food, but they're not going to buy the merch. They have a season pass, so it's less likely they'll buy merch. They'll buy one thing every so often, but not every day. Like if you're a tourist coming to Disneyland, yes, they'll buy shit all the time. But yeah, that's just saying that you had a whole day of just all tourists. Now you do have a lot of tourists in the park, but at the same time you do have a lot of capacity of the season pass holders, people who had season passes before the pandemic, and just things like that. So you're not getting a new revenue of people coming to the park. So it's not really going on a high amount of profit. So that's what I learned when I worked at Six Flags, and I learned the ins and outs of trades. Like I said, yeah, you have people who have season passes, but when they have season passes, they're less likely to buy stuff in the park that's not food or, whatever, so they can save money and come back another day. But if you have a 1 day pass and don't give out season passes, those people will come way less often, and they'll buy way more merch, and they'll obviously buy the food. So now you have a growing process. So it's not the plan didn't work. I didn't think about it, and I didn't think about the X factors in it. Now that was that. Moving on to other stocks. If, like I said, that was a whole stock. Now, if you're still skeptical about buying stock, I would recommend go to Cash App. I have a Cash app. And in Cash App, they actually have a stock section. And the stock section will show you everything: entertainment, TV and movies, companies, electric companies, things like that. They'll show you everything that you could possibly invest in. So if you click on the home, go to that, and they'll show you all the things you have: gas, power, entertainment, kids, music, cell phones, upcoming banks, finances, business services, energy, ETFs, foods and drinks, health, media center, shopping, sports and gaming, technology. That's all the stuff in tourism. That's all categories you can look at and look. I'm on the app right now. I'm looking at Disneyland right now, or at least Disney. Okay, so Disney stock is at 112 right now. Um, so if I was looking at my stock, I'd probably have a little more than I thought I had, right? So that's that. So you go to these categories, and now I would look. Even Airbnb has it. I'm not sure why I haven't invested in Airbnb, but it probably has a good reason. Um, so now you look into these things. Now these are penny stocks. Now what I mean by that is you don't have to buy the full stock of it. Okay, so say for example you have $5 laying around, right? Just a dollar, $5, whatever. You can buy a fraction of any one of these stocks for whatever the price is. So say, for kicks and giggles, we already said Disneyland a million times. So guess what? We're going right back to Disneyland. So let's say Disneyland, or Disney, I should say. It's probably all one together, together as a trademark media. Um, the share price is $112. Now you put $5 in there, you have a fraction of that stock. So let's say the stock goes up and there's a profit. You can get a fraction of that profit. It may not seem like a whole bunch, but you can see where it's going. Now, there are different categories when you look at this. When you look at a stock, it will tell you the categories. And when the first look to the bottom, like, or above the below, you can follow. You can follow what they're doing. And that way you at least can keep track of things. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to buy it today. Let's just say you want to watch it for a couple of days, see how it goes, see if it goes ups, downs, fluctuates, all that kind of stuff, right? Just above that, you have the 1 day, the 1 week, the 1 month, the 1 year, and then all together, right? So basically when you look at that, don't go to the 1 day, don't go to the 1 week. Stock is like a flower. You gotta give it time to invest, you gotta give it time to grow, you gotta give it time to flourish. So don't go to the 1 day, don't go to the 1 week. Things can happen in a week. You can have a good day, you can have a bad day, right? Go to where it says all. When you see the all, you can kind of see the report card that's been tracked over, the decade, if you will. I mean, you can see where it starts, just obviously all low at one point, but then you can see kind of raising and gathering and going higher and higher. There'd be maybe a little dip at one point, but you can see where it overall is going, from where it was. So that's that. So going with that, then you can also look under key statements, and it's like it'll tell you like, hey, this is how much the share is worth, this is how much the market cap as, So again, the Disney stock is $112.87. The market cap is $207 billion. The revenue for the last 12 months has been 88, you know, $88 billion as well. So again, you can kind of keep track of this. I know some of this seems a little confusing, but I promise you, just kind of look at it, and you can kind of tell you what the profit is. And then there's kind of like a little tally mark if you keep scrolling down that will tell you the financial annually, quarterly. Tell you, hey, what they made last year, what they this year, what they made the year before last year, 2 years ago, 3 years. So it goes about 4 years. So that way you can kind of keep track of, hey, where were you at? How much did you grow in profit? And how much should I expect? That's the stuff to kind of look at, but not totally well. And then you go down, then there's the analyst option, which will tell you to sell it, hold it, buy it. Most of it's going to say moderately buy to buy, but not always the case. So, like I said, do your research. For example, I will go into a little bit of my portfolio here. So I've bought a lot of stuff. I've gotten everything from General Electric, Meta, ExxonMobil, Tesla. Tesla was the one that really kicked my ass. That I'll tell you that I invested in money. And another fun fact is that these aren't tax deductible because these are, you put money in these and they gave you a profit out. Now, the idea is that you don't quite have this money, but it is metaphorically there. It's metaphorically there, if you will. And if you don't understand what that means, there's a funny thing by um, Trevor Noah, who basically talks about Elon Musk and how he has ta- how he's not evading taxes, but he doesn't have to pay taxes for something he doesn't have based off the trigger that he has. So this. I know it's going all over the place,
argue
but listen.
that you cannot tax billionaires on the shares that they hold in a company because it is an unrealized gain, right? So they go like, yeah, you're worth 300 billion, but we can't tax you on those stocks because you haven't sold the shares, so you don't like have the money. And I understand the argument. They go like, no, you don't have it. It's just what it's worth, because it could also crash, and then you have nothing, so we can't tax you on it. Then I'm like, okay, I understand that. Then Elon Musk offers to buy Twitter. And then he says, in his offer, he goes, I'm putting up my Tesla stock as collateral. Then I'm like, so you do have it? Then he's like, no, I don't have it. I'm just going to say as collateral. So then they accept the offer. He now buys Twitter. Now that they've accepted his offer, he now goes to private equity and banks and like other rich people and whatever. He goes like, can you guys borrow me the money to buy Twitter? And then he's like, I want to buy Twitter because I don't want to sell any of my Tesla shares. So I want to use your money to buy Twitter. And then it's like, but then they're like, what are we loaning it against? And he's like, well, my Tesla shares. Then I'm going like, wait. So you can buy a thing based on what you have, yes. But when we want to tax you, you can say, I don't have it.
So therefore, you can, again, you have gains when you buy stock, but again, it's like an invisible force still. It's there, but it's not there. So until you pull it back out, they can't tax you on shit. So you could have $1 billion in a stock, can't tax you until you take it out. But anyways, I regret. Nonetheless, going back to stocks, especially with Tesla, I invested in Tesla a while ago, and I put like $5 here, $5 there, five, right? And then I kind of stopped because this is the problem that I had, especially with Tesla. Tesla, when I started, and this is before Elon Musk said anything, before he bought Twitter, before he bought X, whatever the fuck it is, before he talked about Trump and all the Republican bullshit. Tesla stock, let me tell you, was almost 2 G's, $2,000, right? Today, it's worth $180. And I bought it when it was worth something. So therefore, I have financially put in $70 into Tesla. And basically, they've crashed, and I am in like a negative right now. Um, so I put in $70, and my stock is probably worth less than that now. So it's like crypto. But see, the thing about stocks and things like that, especially with Tesla, is I put $70 in. My loss is at $31.80. But see, that's the thing about when you buy stocks. You can technically see what you're investing in. With crypto, you don't know what the fuck you're investing in. You're just hoping that enough people are putting in money so you can make money. Um, I know that sounds so fucking confusing. Even saying that out loud says it sounds confusing. But at least you know that something somewhere that you give out is doing a good and or service where your money, and you know what your money is fully investing in. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like obviously, if you buy a business and you sell that business will either make money or not make money. With crypto, you're just giving crypto money. Like, but you don't know what the fuck it's doing. It's like when people invest in the NASDAQ or some shit like that. What are you even investing in? It's just a name. You're just investing money and hoping it grows. There's nothing that you can know that it grows to say, oh yeah, it's growing. But what is it? I couldn't tell you. It's crypto. I couldn't tell you. It's just fake money that's just growing or not growing. Compared to stock, it's real money, and it can grow or not grow depending on who's financially investing in it, as well as what your good and services is selling. So like Starbucks, you say, hey, I'm putting, which I wouldn't recommend doing Starbucks either. Starbucks to a point where Starbucks is closing locations and they overdid it. If you started with Starbucks, you'd probably be a famous millionaire by now. But the thing is, Starbucks is overdoing it. They put Starbucks next to a Starbucks, and god damn it, there's too many goddamn Starbucks. So now you gotta start closing Starbucks locations down. So that's when you overdid it. So that's why I didn't invest too much in Starbucks. I put like $3 in the Starbucks. I'm like at negative 41 cents. So therefore, that's the case on Starbucks. Now, let's look into, I talked about all the bad things. Let's talk about good ones you can invest in right now. Now I promise you that you can't lose money on these ones, because there are things that people need, people have, people want, and they deserve it. Starting with let's just go with start with load. Let's start with the top of the food chain. Right now, if you look at it, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, basketball games, VR. Hell, if you want to talk about like crypto, fuck it, why not, right? Meta is a good one. Meta is a really good one that will give you the money that you deserve back. Now, they took a little dip. Now, I won't lie. When I first got to Meta, their their share prices were at, let's say, like, I don't know, maybe like $200 or so like that. Well, and I've put in like every month or so, I'll put in $5. Let's because I see it growing. I've seen money investment return on it. Basically where I had like $30, and then it was like, well, guess what? Your gain is $30. So I literally got the $30 back plus some. So then I put another $5 and another $5. I go by fives. If I had a dollar, why not? I'll put a dollar. But whatever, right? I go by fives just because it seems like a good number. Um, at last week, I'll probably say around Wednesday or so, it was probably like I had $85 in there, and they gave me, actually no, this is accurate. Um, I had about $85 in there, and they actually had put I had to gain $86. So not only was it worth the value that I gave them, they also gave me a dollar more, or just a little bit share more of it. So therefore, Meta is definitely going to give you your dollar worth plus some. So again, so if you put like $80 into the stock, um, basically at this point, I have $82 into the stock, which gives me about $167 basically. Um, and so the total value is like 169. They've gone up. They've took a little dip, but they've gone up most of the time. Their share prices has definitely gone up. So their share prices are $490. So like I said, I put in at $200 maybe almost like half a year ago, and now they're at 490, almost at $500 basically. So they may take a little dip for a second, but they do come back. People use the VRs, people use Facebook, people use Instagram. They're like a monopoly right now. Everything you look at, even the fact that like if people want to get those blue stamps on their Instagram feeds or whatever, or their verification thing, they're paying like $14, $15 a month. And that's just, to say you're somebody. You could be nobody, but you can buy it. But they're just saying, I'm somebody. And all these celebrities have been buying it. So therefore, their value keeps going up and the value of Instagram keeps going up. So therefore, Meta keeps going up. So then you get your money worth, right? Ooh. Next one, General Electric. Everyone needs electricity, right? I know you would have electricity. Something's powering the device you're listening on now, by electricity somehow. So right now, General Electric is doing pretty damn well. I put $47 into them. They've gave me a gain of $35. So therefore, again, in the positives, I'm higher. So the $47 is turned into $82 now of a gain. So $35 of a gain. Also something to look at too on some of these sites that when so like I said, before I get ahead of myself, I have $82 in this account. The stock is worth $157. Now, like I said, the less money you put in, but they go up and you get a profit, you're only getting a fraction of how much you put in there. So it's the division and multiplication, all that kind of shit. So if you want to divide all that shit, it's up to you. But as soon as you get the full share of the stock, you get the full share of the profit. So, like I said, like I said, I'm going pretty high right now with, like I said, Meta. So literally at $82, and they're $87, and they're matching me about $82 right now. I'm looking at a pretty penny. But if I was at $490, I would be stupid money right now. Like stupid money right now. You know what I mean? Like I would be like fucking fantastic with that. So again, I know it probably doesn't sound like I know what I'm talking about, but this is what I've been doing. This is what I've been looking at. This is what you should be looking at as well. Like I said, you don't have to. This is not a forcing thing. This is just a thing to help you show that money can work for you. You have to. I've put it to this point, even though if I'm a Democrat, I don't give a fuck. I'm thinking like a Republican. They got stocks, they got the guns, they got the butter. They are putting money into stuff and getting money back because money is working for them and not the other way around. So I'm thinking like a boss right now. So that's what you gotta do. So again, moving down the line. So again, we got Meta, we got General Electric. Guess what people need when they drive around? They're not driving a Tesla, and they're not driving a hybrid, but guess what? They are driving something gas powered. So again, ExxonMobil. I put in now. See, this is where I'm like talking about. This is so ExxonMobil. I have about $7 worth in there. I got about $5 a gain, so it gets me about 82, $75 of profit, right? There's $5 of profit. So, but their stock is actually worth $105. So I'm almost there at a full stock actually. Which when I get there, it doesn't seem like a lot, which really isn't a lot. But again, those are one of those ones where it's not a negative, but it's definitely a positive in the gains. You got TKO Group, which TKO was bought out by UFC. UFC bought WWE, so they have a combined combination. Everyone likes to watch boxing. Everyone likes to watch mixed martial arts. I got it at $35 of my investment, and I got $2 back from it. So again, not a negative. It is a positive, but not a great big positive. And their share stocks are going for um $80. So I'm not far off. So there's a lot of ones I'm not far off from getting a whole stock, but there are some that I'm totally far from getting a whole stock. But again, that's just the way you should think about it. Like, hey, how much can I get? How much are people using this product? How much people are doing with this product? Like, and then like you look at things like Amazon. Now, I thought Amazon had a higher stock when I first joined, but I guess they didn't, or they went down, one of the two. But regardless, share price for Amazon stock's like at 174. But people use Amazon a lot, so there's no reason that you can't see that Amazon stock can go up or down, left or right. You know what I mean? I go for like my thing is I go for stores that people use. They got Costco in here. They got Walmart. They got Target. Um, T-Mobile phone companies, fast food restaurants like McDonald's, um, hell, Netflix. Even if you think about Netflix, everyone has Netflix, especially coming up. Netflix is about $598 right now for stock share. And if you think about it, starting next February, WWE wrestling will actually be going off live cable TV, and they've been bought by Netflix. So Netflix will actually be showing WWE. So yeah, that's a lot of WWE fans who are going to want to watch wrestling. So therefore, you buy it now cheap, and then next year when they go higher, because WWE fans are watching Netflix, guess what? You'll already be in the winnings for the race. You know what I mean? Now, it's also kind of a thing to look out for also on these things are dividend points. Now, dividend points are basically thank yous from the company, almost like how I'll talk about the next segment of savings. Um, when you look at dividend points, it's like, hey, I'm giving you money to invest in this company. Now, this is what especially separates this from crypto. You're giving them money to invest in the company, right? That company will in turn give you the money for the profits, but then also say, hey, for being with us and supporting us, we're going to give you a percentage back, almost like an interest, if you will. Now, some of them fluctuate, some of them are higher, some of them lower, some of them just based off of stock. But basically, you get the profit from the stock. That's one thing. But you also get an interest on your investment coming back into your gains, saying, hey, this is the interest that we have. This is what we owe you for letting us borrow your money. And that's, my friends, what the key factor is when you get money from these people, which will bring me into my next topic, savings accounts. Have a savings account. If you don't have a savings account, you need to invest in a savings account. Now, what savings accounts are pretty much things to put in the money, put in your bank, and not touch. Now, I know we're going a little over an hour, but this is important shit. And as an influencer, I'm going to give you the good facts of life. Basically, when you're putting money into savings, this is money that you're saying, hey, I want to save my money. I don't want to touch my money. I'm going to put my money into this bank, hoping that this bank does not touch my money. Well, banks need money to keep processing. And when they don't have money from their own self, they'll borrow your money. So what happens is you say, I'm putting my money in this savings account. Well, we're going to put your money in that savings account, but we're going to take your money metaphorically in a way. This is definitely metaphorically speaking in a way. We're going to take some of your money that you put in with us and we're going to lend it to Bob. And Bob is going to borrow some of that money. And when Bob borrows that money, he's got to give it back to us. Like, for people's loans and savings and our personal investments and shit like that, auto loans. This is how they get the money for you. And they said, Bob, we're going to let you borrow this money. But in return, Bob, we need an interest. You got to give us a little more than what we're giving you to get back in the bank. Now, when they do this, that money goes back into your stock or your savings accounts. They say, hey, every annual year, percentage a month or so like that, we're going to give you an interest fee. We're going to help you grow your money because you're letting us borrow your saving money and give it to somebody else who's paying us back, and we're paying you back. And by paying you back, we'll give you just a little bit more of an interest. We'll give you just a little bit more of a savings. And the more you put money into these accounts and don't touch that money, is the money you get and it compounds and it keeps building and it keeps building. And the more money you have, the higher the percentage keeps going, even if it's not a higher percentage. But guess what? The more money you put in, they made a deal with you that we will give you a percent back of whatever you have in your account based off of that. For example, and I always check your banks, check what your savings is, and see where you can go better. Like I said, most banks will put a 2% interest on there. Now, I say look at PayPal. PayPal and a lot of these minor credit card places are running investment things, or savings accounts for people because people don't have those savings, and banks don't tell you about those savings all the time, but they want your business. PayPal wants your business, so that's why PayPal said, hey, you know what, we're going to pay in four. We'll pay it all for you, but guess what, we'll every week we'll take a portion out of your check or a portion out of your account. And that's basically, they're just taking savings because they got to get the money from somewhere. They don't have the money. So they borrow it from your savings and they're going to give you the money back every time they need it. Okay. So, for example, if you go on PayPal, go into the section for savings. In the section under savings for PayPal, um, basically tells you that they will give you 4.30, 4.3, 4.30, however you want to go. I think 4.30 just sounds kind of cooler. 4.30% annual percentage yearly. Okay. So basically, and it's run through a bank. So basically, however much money you put into their savings, every month they will give you a 4.30% interest based off of how much you have in that savings. So, and I'll give you a clear example of what this was. So, say about last year, I started this about June-ish, right? June, something like that. So I started with June, and I put $10 in every week, and for a whole month, I put $10 in. So by the end of the month, I had $40 in that account. They gave me 83 cents that month just for putting in $43. Okay. Doesn't sound like a lot. Does not sound like a whole bunch, but every penny helps. So for that $40, I got about just under 80 cents of a dollar. Okay. So let's say after that, I put in another 10 more dollars. So now my account has $80 in that account. So guess what? 80 dollars, 4.30% interest. Now, for that month, that second month I did that, they gave me $1.04. Okay. $1.04. Okay. That now we're starting to build. So for $40, they gave me one extra dollar. May not seem like much, but guess what? It keeps adding on. So let's say the next month I put in another 10 more dollars. I actually threw in 15. I could afford it at the time. So I put $15 the last 2 weeks. Now that month, right, they're giving me $1.27 for having about what, 40, 80, $160 in that account. So now let's fast forward a little bit, right? Let's fast forward to about a month ago. It'd probably be about 700 something dollars, right? So now they're giving me about $3. Now we're talking money. So now my money is working for me. And as I put money in there, I'm investing in it and they're giving me money back. So therefore, you could do the same thing. Like I said, check with all these banks, see what they're offering, see what their savings are offering, find out what works for you. And a lot of them are starting to compete. I know Cash App is starting to offer a savings account at 1.5 interest at starting, but if you put your like direct deposit in there, they'll give you the 4 point, maybe even 5% cash back, honestly, on the year percentage. So again, this money just keeps growing and you need to make your money work for you and not the other way around, because you need to save that money. Yes, you do. Save that goddamn money. And these are the things I'm talking about. Like, they fucked up. But yeah, so anyways, make your savings accounts work for you. You should always have, and I've learned this as an adult, you should always have at least 3 months of money saved in investments. That way, if you ever lose your job, you have 3 months of money to spend on top of your unemployment or whatever you have, if you need money for, especially if you're buying an apartment for the first time or whatever it is, you have money, you have fallback money, you have emergency money, rainy day money, bill money, whatever the fucking case may be. But again, between the stocks, I hope this advice was good for you guys. Literally, especially if you tell your kids about this. Abraham, especially if you tell your daughter about this kind of shit, okay? Like literally, this is the kind of things you need to do to save money, build up the equity. Hell, even Chime. I would even recommend doing Chime. And again, this is not a public service out announcement. This is just things that I've learned, especially when you have good credit, bad credit, good credit that went to bad credit, and you're trying to build your credit back up. Chime actually has a credit builder program. Um, Especially if you have kids and you're trying to get them good credit or build up good credit. They actually you start off with a checking account, and you can get a credit builder account. And basically, between Chime, Venmo, um, and like I said, Venmo has one where when every time you spend money, I think on your debit card, it pushes like it rounds it up and pushes the other money into your savings account or your credit card. Now, if you buy a credit card through Venmo, you get the 3% cash back. Especially if you buy a credit card for the first time, look for the cash back stuff. Cash back stuff will help you out so much in life, especially when you look for these other credit cards and debit card places, because they actually do give you discounts at a lot of these places. For example, like Foot Locker, if you go, you have like a discount because you're using Venmo or whatever it is. Um, and basically, you can go back and you can go through Venmo and they give you the cash back. So you buy something, they give you a little bit like a 3%, 2%, and 1% cash back on anything you're buying. So basically, when you're using the credit card and you're paying it back, eventually, if you spend so much money, they'll give you 3% of that cash back into your account. So it kind of works good for you. Like it works for you. Again, your money is working for you. So when you buy something, it's like a thank you. Here's some money back, or like a discount, if you will, at the end of the month. And good job for paying them back and things like that. So look for those kind of things. But if you're having bad credit, look into Chime. They have a credit builder. Now, a credit builder is kind of like a prepaid credit card. Basically, what they're saying is, and the cool thing about a credit builder is basically you're saying you're putting money in, not money you can't afford, but money, just money. A lot of these credit cards report to bureaus and say, hey, they have this much money and they spent this much money and this is how much money they paid us back for. So coming back to Chime, you could put $1 in that account. Chime, you spend that dollar, spend it on a soda, whatever the fuck it is, right? Chime will tell the investors or credit card investing companies, this is, hey, he has a credit card with us. He or she has a credit card with us. They spent money, and basically because it's a prepaid credit card and a credit builder, all they say is the money is already paid back. They spend the money, it's already paid back. Because like I said, it's a prepaid credit card. You can't put more money than what you want to hope to expect to spend. Like I said, that's why it's a credit builder. Now, what I do is also like a little life hack. So basically, the credit builder helps build your credit up while you're, if you have bad credit already or if your credit dropped, but it helps build your credit back up. That's the point of a credit builder. And so what I do is when I have a payment, and they also do like plans where if you're going to make on time payments, like let's say through your um basically through your, like, say you have Spectrum or Hulu or however you pay your shit, they will say, hey, if you pay your bills with our credit card, one, tells the investors that you're using a credit card. Two, you pay the credit card back, because again, that's like the hack, that's the point of it, is just to say, hey, they spent an X amount of money, but they don't tell them how much money they spent or how much money is used on the card. They just say, you spent something on a credit card that we gave them, which again is the hack. And the idea that says they pay the money back, and they also use it to pay bills. So they're responsible. So it's a double hack. And so basically it's saying that they paid the money back and they're paying it toward bills. So they are very trustworthy when it comes to credit card resource payment like that. Whew, that was a lot. So those are the main things you can do to help you save money for your financial investment. Now, also, last quick thing is if you have a job and it pays a 401k plan, it's always great to get one of those, especially if you see that it's there. Get it, grab it, got it, because 401k plan, especially if the company pays out what you're paying, will just inevitably just keep adding on to your funds all through the rest of your life, and you can never go wrong with the 401k plan. And that, my friends, is how you save that money so you can shake that money maker later on in life. You know what I mean? That's just what the fuck we do here in Brett's Man Cave. And again, that's the idea, how to save money, guys. Make money work for you, and again, not the other way around. Woo, man, that was a deep podcast this week. I'm not gonna lie, that was a deep one, very deep one. But again, guys, thank you for tuning in. I know we ran a little longer than usual, but today was a good celebration and a good day just for like commemorating. We got the 10,000K follows on Instagram, and I hope you guys learned a little bit about financial planning. Hey, again, I'm not a great financial strategist, but I think I'm doing pretty well. And I hope there's more secrets that I could teach you guys later on as an influencer, hopefully now, that I can teach you guys how to save money, make money, do the damn thing. You know what I mean? But speaking of 10K followers, guys, if you want to be part of that 10K following me, please follow me on Instagram. That's Brett's_Mancave on Instagram. You can also follow my other links. Chocolate_Ink87 as I started my new tattoo company. Gotta love it. Yeah, I love tattoos. If you love tattoos and want one, hit me up. Why not, right? If you want to ask me about more financial advice, again, hit me up with my IG, Brett's_Mancave, or go on all my links and then find Brett's Man Cave. I'll be there. I'm here to help you guys out. You know what I mean? I love you guys as fans and as followers, and I love you guys for all the support. If you love Brett's Man Cave show, please like, subscribe, follow, share, all that shit with your friends. You know what I mean? Because I can't get big without you, and you can't learn more lessons without me, I hope. You know, I think I've go through enough life lessons to teach you guys what's going on. And that's what mainly what Brett's Man Cave is about. It's just about storytelling, and you know what I mean? I do the trials, tribulations, and everything else like that. So you don't have to. Or if you want to do those things that I do, hell, go to the strip club, you know, find out the funniest things in life. Hey, come with me. Be an adventure with me. Maybe you'll be on the cave one day, you know what I mean? Hey, why not? But again, guys, I love you. I appreciate you. And again, until next week, I'll see you right here on Brett's Man Cave. Thanks, guys, for playing along.